Hey everyone, BDA here for the second video. Today we're going to talk about finding your spark. But in order to have your spark, you got to have the tools to start, to create that to get that thing going. So your spark is your motivation. But we got to acknowledge the little physics here, guys. So little physics 101. No, an object at rest stays at rest until acted upon by an equal or greater force. Now, you can observe this by holding an apple and above one hand with another, letting it go with the hand that's holding it, and it will fall into the other hand. The act of gravity pulls the apple down, and the apple will fall until your hand stops it. Pretty simple. Just like the apple's in your hand until you let go, and the active force of gravity, which is stronger than your hand, or stronger than just it being suspended in nothing, pulls it down towards the other hand. Why am I saying this? Because motivation, people seem to think motivation is just that thing that just comes out of nowhere. Motivation is a factor of your environment. So if you want to be motivated, you have to be around motivated people, or you have to see people that are motivated. And, sometimes that means you got to change your social circle because, one thing I've learned, and I can say after 10 years, it's true. You're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, regardless of who they are. If you hang out with 5 millionaires and your average poverty, middle income, you have potential to be the 6th. But at the same time, if you hang out with 5 people that just want to chill all day, don't want to do nothing, or don't want to do nothing really productive, they can come and talk all day, but when it comes time to make an action, they don't follow through, you ain't going to go nowhere. But the biggest thing about motivation is you've got to make your sacrifice to get your motivation. And here, Black Diamond Alchemy, that's the first thing we're going to tell you, is in order to get what you want, you got to give up what you got. And that's just plain and simple, guys. If you want to be better tomorrow, you have to get rid of what does not serve you today. Now, again, for some people, that's your social circle. That's your social habits. It's your spending habits. Whatever it is that's causing you to not be where you want to be. And I can't tell you what that is. That varies from person to person, and only you can individually come to terms with yourself with what is holding you back. But once you find out what's holding you back, that's up to you. Are you willing to get rid of that trait? Are you willing to get rid of that habit in order to get to where you want to be in life? For me, my habit was partying. I partied too much. I chilled too much. I just wanted to have fun. Well, and the fun stopped and the people left, it became obvious. If I want to have real fun, I got to have real money. But in order to have real money, I need to have real income. And a lot of the jobs that are out there just ain't worth it. So, I told myself I was going to start my own job. I had no knowledge of what it took to run a business, and I knew I had no knowledge of what it took to run a business. So I told myself, before I actually create a business, I'm going to study what a business takes. Ooh. Sorry about that. Long morning. Now, I can be the guy to say, hey, all you got to do is this, this, and this. No, that don't work for everybody. What you got to do how alchemy works is you take something you got, add a little bit more, you put it through a catalyst, and then you get something of equal or most of the time lesser value on the end. For me, my alchemic process, I give up my time and energy today and go through the crucible of living frugally and making certain sacrifices. What I will get on the other side is financial freedom, maybe wealth, but at least the keys to create generational wealth for my kids. That's basically my goal. I would like to enjoy the fruits of my labors, but the tree I plant today is not for me, it's for the next generation. I've already come to terms and made my peace with the fact that I may die before I actually get to benefit from everything that I'm working on building right now. And I'm okay with that. And I want you guys to be okay with that too. If you're doing this because you want to live out the rest of your life in fun, you're going to have to take a different approach. But if you're like someone like me who's got kids and you want to set them up for true success in life, and maybe you don't have the family name or the family account or the family connections to make it happen, you're going to have to build that empire on your own. And it's hard. If you're working a 9 to 5, you're going to have to do the 9 to 5 and then the 5 to 9 and then the wake up early and do the, 5 to 9 again. It's hard. It sucks. I'm not going to bullshit you. I wish I could. I wish I'd be like, oh man, it's so easy. All you got to do is this. You got to do that. No. There are days where you don't want to do anything because you've had a rough day at work. And that's the other thing, guys. If you start a business and it's not something that's going to start making you that money quick, don't quit your job. Do not quit your job until your business is offering you at least what you're making at your job right now. Preferably, me personally, I am not willing to leave my job until my business is paying out double to triple what I make double time. I only get paid double time 1 day a week, so, if I work that day. That's the pros of working at my job. I get paid double time if I work Sunday, and I love working those 12-hour shifts on Sundays. They may suck at times, but on Friday when I get that check, that money's so good. But, it is what it is. So, for me, it's going to be a while before I can just say, oh, okay, boss, okay, job, I'm out. I've loved it here, but I'm on to do me. It's going to be a while, and I've come to terms with that. And I've had to reevaluate my business strategy, my business model, because, I had one system set up, then COVID happened, which completely turned that up on its head. I readjusted my system, tried something else. Then the economy went to crap. And yes, we are in a recession, guys. Please don't let these liars on the media and the president fool you. I mean, if you're a Democrat, it's a little too late for you. I'm apolitical. I'll bash the right, too, on some things. But Democrats, y'all really dropped the ball on this one. I mean, you can say it's Trump. Nah, it's Biden. Biden's bad policies, Biden's complete disregard for American life. I mean, look at him. We got a complete mini Chernobyl here in America in East Palestine, Ohio. And our lovely president, the man of the people, went to Kiev to go support some dumb comedian who's leading his people and all of Europe and possibly us into nuclear war. No one voted for Zelensky, guys. He was put in there after a coup by some rich dude because he played a president on TV. And this is the guy we're willing to go to war for. This is the guy we're willing to let ruin our economy. This is the guy that we're willing to let and cause inflation in our country. So if you're Americans and you're Democrat, I personally want to say thank you. Because now we're in this shit. But, that's my little rant. Back to the main point, which is you've got to find your spark. No one's going to find it for you. You've got to find the cool tools to make your spark. Some of you have the tools to go get a lighter. Spark that bitch up. Cool. Some of you're going to have to go out into the woods, find 2 rocks that are compatible, and click them to get that fire going on top of some dry cat's tails. Where you come from defines what you got to do to get that spark. But once you get that spark, the next video is going to be how do you maintain that fire? Because, guys, there were days where I wanted to say, fuck it, I give up. Or, you know what, this ain't worth it, I'm done. And it got hard. But I had to keep going. And don't get me wrong, you will have to take breaks. You can't go work all 24/7 all the time. Not everybody. There's some people that can. If you're one of those people, disregard what I said. You can do it. But the average person, you can only go so long before you need to take a break. Because if you burn yourself out, you give up. And when you give up, you stop working at it. Again, learn from my mistakes. I can personally say I've done this. I've made the mistake of going too hard, too fast, trying to do too much, and burned out. And when you burn out, it's hard to get that kick back in. But you can. So again, guys, this ain't just for, anybody. This is whether you're black, you're white, male, female, Christian, atheist, rich, poor, whoever. If you're someone who says, my life isn't where I want it to be, but I can see where I want it to be, and I know how to, and I can at least see the direction I need to go to get there, even if I can't see the path. Because there are many paths that lead to the same destination, my friends. You might be on one path today, fall onto another, think you messed up, and wind up getting to your destination sooner than you thought. So, guys, this is probably going to be one of my longer videos, but it's important that I say this. You're in control of your spark. No one else is. But if you can find that spark, and again, to get that spark, you have to sacrifice something. You have to basically give up whatever it is that's holding you back. That could be friends. That could be social habits. That could be spending habits. It could be, anything else. But whatever's holding you back in life, let it go. Let it go. Focus on something constructive, and you can achieve immense things. And I'm going to take a line from Bill Gates. I know a lot of y'all don't like him right now because the conspiracy theory is that he's some evil guy behind COVID. Frick that. The guy's successful, and people just want to hate on him. That's the lowest truth. Yeah, the guy thinks there should be less people on the planet, but you know what? Look at how we're doing so far. Not saying he's right, not saying he's wrong, but the guy does leave clues for success. And here's one of them, because, again, I can now say this is true. I've put it to the test, and it's held up. The average person overestimates what they can do in 1 year, but underestimates what they can do in 10. Now, with that being said, guys, y'all have a good day. Take some time, find your spark, and get that fire burning. Because in the future, kids will look at you and say, hey, what'd you do during the greatest transformation of wealth? What'd you do during the greatest transformation of power in the world history, in the 21st century? Some of you are going to say, oh, well, I just, I was watching Netflix, I was doing Hulu, I was on the TikToks or on the Twitters. That's fine. But at the same time, for those of you who want to be entertained, don't be mad when the people who want to be educated surpass you. Don't be mad when life doesn't give you what you want because you aren't willing to put in the time and effort. With that being said, BDA out.